What's up, everyone? Welcome to another night of Super Deluxe Gamescast live. It's 9 o'clock. It's Thursday. It's time to talk about video games, and it is the first podcast of the last month of this godforsaken, cursed fucking year. So
I hate it.
Well, you're gonna be real disappointed when 2021 is just 2020 Redux.
We are almost there. We are nearing the end of the tunnel. This last month is going to seem like an entire year on its own, I'm afraid. Yeah. I'm not sorry. I was just looking at something in chat. Welcome everybody. We missed last week, obviously, because of Thanksgiving. So it's good to see everybody back. I missed our audience, and I missed all of you. I missed my family here. And hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. And we have a really cool guest on. I've been trying to get Cam on the podcast for some time now, and I was finally able to snag him. Cameron Hawkins, dude. I have been following you on Twitter for some time now, and obviously, like, we've talked a lot back and forth because according to that little app that everyone is using, I'm in your inner circle. Like, I'm part of the inner circle, man. Like,
yeah, you're in the inner circle.
Hell yeah, I am, dude. Tell
well, I'm
anybody who's not familiar.
Circle, so what about that?
Finn, I'm speaking. Do not interrupt your father. I'm just kidding. I love you, Finn.
Your father.
I love
Cam,
you, Finn.
I want to hear about you.
Yeah, I want to hear about Cam. Cam, for anybody in the audience who is not familiar with you, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got your start?
Yeah, so I went to school at the University of Nevada, Reno. I'm based up in Reno. And I got my degree in journalism. Originally, truth be told, I originally wanted to do film journalism because I'm a big film guy. As you know, my old handle was the Cinephile guy.
I would not have guessed that. I would not have guessed that at all.
But I've always at the end of the day, even like going through like middle school, high school, I always wanted to do like games journalism. That was always like that job that felt like was impossible to obtain at the time, and then like as years went on, I was just like, I felt like I had some like certain connections. Like I felt like I could at least get my foot in the door, So I got my first writing gig at DualShockers in April of last year.
I remember that.
And I'm a lot has happened in not even 2 years. I'm incredibly grateful and gracious to all the opportunities I've gotten this far.
You've been popping up on IGN, man. That's awesome.
Yep. A few 4 times. So yeah.
That's outstanding, man. No, seriously, dude. Congratulations. It's always nice to see extremely talented voices and faces get elevated in this industry, and it's admittedly really difficult to do so sometimes. Like we talk a lot amongst each other about how lucky we are. And we're still a small podcast. Like, we are small content creators. And even still, the point we're at, most other podcasts never even reach this point. So it is extremely difficult to get your foot in the door and keep it there. And I'm glad you were able to do it, man. Seriously, because it's not easy. It is not easy.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's when I got my job at DualShockers, I was just like, okay, I can't waste this opportunity. I just gotta grind, get myself out there, just network and just let people know about me. So
outstanding, dude. Yeah, I know I speak for all of us when I say that we could not be happier that you're here with us tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, dude, absolutely, man. And as for the rest of the group, how's everybody doing?
Oh, I'm great. I had a great joke about Cam, but I didn't want to interrupt him.
What's your great? No, you know what? I don't want to hear it.
It's in the chat. It's not great. It's awful. It's Finn.
That really sucks, Finn. I just saw it. That's terrible. You're horrible.
Oh,
I don't. You know what?
Hey, Cam. Cam, would you say that you were dual shocked when you?
No, shut up, Finn.
No.
Shut up.
No.
I don't care how Finn is doing anymore. Brittany, I want to know how you're doing.
I'm taking every day a day at a time.
Yeah?
Like, that's all anybody can do right now.
What about you, Derek? How you doing, man? As you're over there pulling a bitter beer face.
I'm just fucking vibing, man.
Yeah? Are you vibing on me?
You're always vibing.
I'm just here. Like,
Show off. Hey,
been-
turn your head to the side. Show off that haircut. Show off that haircut.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Show us.
I just
Look at that
He
shit.
did that himself.
I'm
y'all.
finally learning to cut my own hair and make it not look completely fucking awful because I'm not going out to a fucking experts right now. It's not happening.
That's looking sharp, baby.
I think the word you were looking for was barber, but
no.
The experts.
Hair experts.
It's like these because some people go to barbers, some people go to like salons, some people have like their style, like what the fuck ever word you want to use for it. I don't know.
Derek.
I'll take us
Derek,
offline.
Derek rolls in on a helicopter and like rappels down and kicks a door and he's like, "I need a haircut expert." Like,
Not my finest moment. Let's move on.
Jeff. So I gotta ask. So while I was talking, I saw Jeff all of a sudden like dash back into the frame and almost fall over as he collapsed into his gaming chair. Jeff, what happened, man? Are you okay?
No, I'm doing tech support for my wife because she's just trying to play a game with her friends right now and on Discord and stuff. And she's like, my headset's dying, and I'm like, charge it. She's like, I don't know how. So I had to like run up there with
you're such
3
a good
USB
husband.
extensions.
She's playing Among Us, isn't she?
No, they're playing Tabletop Simulator on Steam. They're playing
Oh,
Catan.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm wrong for once, so fine.
One.
But I'm glad you're okay, Jeff. I got worried for a minute because you look like you might
The
fall over
chair,
in your gaming
the
chair.
chair was on 2 wheels at one point instead of 5, so it was close.
Holy shit! Your chair has 5 wheels.
I
Yeah.
think everybody's does,
Yeah.
boo.
Doesn't every?
Mine
yeah.
does not. Mine does not. Mine has 4. I like to live
All right.
dangerously.
Yeah.
I like to live dangerously. See, no, I'm gonna look right now.
Yeah,
So I
mine
was
is
just gonna
5.
like fall over spontaneously one day.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
mine
have
has
4.
5.
Mine has 4. Mine has 4.
Your
I,
chair might be
Fiver.
older than me.
I live. Brittany's a 5er. So it's been. It sounds like you're in some kind of like a cult or a gang or something. Brittany's a 5er.
5x5.
Brittany's a 5er. So not a whole lot to talk about this week, right? Like it's been kind of a slow news week, and that's not really all that surprising. We're at the back ass end of the year. and
Yeah,
there's not a whole lot
consoles
to talk
came
about.
out. Brand new consoles have some issues. Oh no, like it always happens in the first couple months of every new release. Like that's not really news or weird to me.
Right.
Shit's still hard to get a hold of. Like there hasn't really been news, big topics, things.
So-
PS5 Pro was trending today, so let's.
Oh yeah, I
Let's
can't. Yo, dude, that
speculate.
shit drops next week, and I can't fucking wait for the PS5 Pro. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so fucking good, man. And then the Xbox Series XXX is gonna drop after that. It's gonna be fucking fantastic, man. I can't wait.
It's like Nvidia launching new graphics cards every couple weeks, even though nobody got the ones that came out the last couple weeks. It's like cool. Just do it.
So
I will say that Bioware news was kind of like not surprising, but like that's not good.
So I don't
Wait,
know. Like, real
What
quick.
happened?
Oh, Britt, Cam. I want to kick it over to Cam. Do you want to update Brittany as to the situation with Bioware right now?
Oh yeah, so the two of the lead people at BioWare, Casey Hudson, who's like known for basically shipping the Mass Effect trilogy, and Mark Dara, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He was basically kind of in the similar boat, but for Dragon Age, and they're both leaving the studio, and they've both been there for like almost 20. Like I think Mark's been there for like 23 years, and then Casey Hudson's been. He actually left in 2015,
no.
Yeah.
and then he came back to be the studio general manager in 2017,
And then
And
he
he was-
shipped
and then he
Anthem
shipped
left.
Anthem. Yeah, exactly. So they're leaving. So
Is
a lot of
there
people-
any news why, or just that they're leaving?
They're moving on.
They make it sound like they just want to start like a new chapter of sorts, and they're like not
They're starting
doing
a
any-
new studio together.
No, well, they actually specified. One of them specified that they're like not doing something together. It's just more like I can't wait to see what Mark does, or I can't wait to see what Casey does. One of the two. So I don't think they're doing anything together. But I'm
That's strange.
definitely interested to see where Casey Hudson goes, because Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does next.
This is
'Cause I
just
would-
I'll have
when-
to.
because when Anthem was announced and then they brought back Casey Hudson, I was just like, yes. I was like, this is gonna be so good. And then we got what we got. So
I'll have to reach out to Mike Laidlaw, see what he thinks about this.
This is just the excuse that Blizzard needs to cancel the Mass Effect trilogy remaster. Blizzard, Bioware. Did I say Blizzard? Ignore me.
You did.
This is not the first beer of the night. Bioware.
Blizzard is acquiring Bioware. You heard it here first on
Yeah.
SDGC.
It was like, you know that meme of the white lady thinking? I was like, wait, what?
Forgive me.
No, and wasn't Mark Cam, if I'm not mistaken, Mark was actually heading up development, like he was the head of the development team responsible for Dragon Age 4, right? Like he was
the executive producer.
He was the executive producer of the game.
Yeah,
right.
so Casey Hudson was like the straight up director of all 3 Mass Effect games, and then Mark was like in the executive producer position type thing. Like he wasn't the director of the games, but he basically was like overseeing the franchise. So he's I think they said like Christian something. Whoever is the studio manager, the head studio manager for the Austin branch, is now moving into the executive producer position. Now that Mark has left. So, and then I don't remember their exact role, but there is someone like inside BioWare that is being like the interim studio general manager until they find a new one for hire, which they do say that they're already talking to people. So it'll be interesting to see who they end up replacing Casey with.
So this is interesting, right? Like before we get into what we've been playing, what do we think this means, if anything, for either the new Mass Effect game that is in development or Dragon Age 4, which we know damn well is in development? I saw a lot of doom and gloom on the timeline today, and I was like, okay, that's a little premature. That doesn't necessarily mean that anything is going wrong with the games or so we don't even know why they left. But then again, at the same time, like, when you think about what, the development hell that Final Fantasy 15 went through with Tabata taking over for, I think it was Nomura, moved on to other projects. Yeah. And then, what's going on with Halo Infinite, there's been a lot of turmoil behind the scenes around the development of that game. It doesn't exactly fill one with confidence. I wanted to see what the group in general thinks. What do you think this might mean for the future of Mass Effect and Dragon Age 4? Do you think it means anything at all?
BioWare's been in trouble for a while, unfortunately. Like, and it's not been all at once. It's been kind of a slow decline into I will say that really Star Wars The Old Republic is, I know there are people who complain about Mass Effect 3 and those people are wrong, and people will complain about Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition and those people are wrong. But like Star Wars The Old Republic was rough, and since then BioWare just has not been able to find their footing with anything that they've been able to do. And I mean, bringing Casey Hudson back did not really help Anthem's problems. Dragon Age 4 we've all been gritting our teeth about that one for a while anyway. So like, in a messed up way, I don't know that BioWare's in any worse a position they've already been. Like,
yeah, like my take on it is, I don't think their departure like hurts BioWare. It's more a symptom of like, I suspect that if things were going very well there, I would think they would probably be staying, to work on the games that they love. So, it's really hard to speculate. Like people leave projects, leave companies all the time for not bad reasons necessarily, but when you look at it in context with the history, it's like Derek said, like pretty clear they haven't really been firing on all cylinders for a long time now. And it's not the same company that made the Mass Effect trilogy. Like most of those people, a lot of those people are gone. And I mean, yeah, 2 people don't make a game, but that's some veteran leadership that's gone. And I don't personally know many people at BioWare, but I hope they have someone to kind of fill that role, because I'm worried about them.
Look at this entire gen for BioWare. It's pretty much just been nothing but a parade of high-profile talent leaving the studio one after the other. So when I made the joke tweet earlier that high-profile talent has left, like it could just be an evergreen tweet at this point. It's not wrong. It reminds me a lot of Rare when Microsoft bought them, and then people suddenly were like, "But wait, this isn't the Rare that I grew up with Super Nintendo and N64." I'm like, "Yeah, because all the people left. Just because the studio has the same name doesn't mean it's the same studio. It's not the same people." The BioWare of the Baldur's Gate days gave way to the BioWare of the Mass Effect days, and now we are in the Anthem days. And we just
What does this mean for Anthem? That's the big question. Where is Anthem in all of this?
It's not so much as of an anthem anymore as it's more of a fanfare.
Shut your fucking mouth, Cam, please.
So I would. Are the Christmas decorations still up from last year's event that never got taken down?
I forgot about that.
I have no idea. I think this whole situation is. I think the issue isn't really. I mean, Finn's right. Where like people come and go. That studio, like things change in that sense. So. BioWare isn't particularly the same studio that it used to be, but I also think the main reason why like we've seen more flops like recently is just because EA has not given BioWare the time to make their games. like Anthem was not ready to ship. Like it probably would have been ready like a year later if they gave them the time. But they're like, oh nope, we got to make this like business blah 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 blah, and then your game flops, and it's just like well. And now like it flopped so quickly. It's just like, what are you going to? I don't know like how they're going to bring back gamers like outside of the people that like bought the game digitally, but I don't know like because they are actually still working on it. I think because the guy that moved into like the the executive producer role for Dragon Age, he was like overseeing the Anthem stuff, and he was very much saying he like tweeted out saying like the leadership and stuff like that is in good hands for Anthem and stuff like that. So they're still working on some sort of 2.0 for that game. At first, when I wrote because I wrote the story for this for DualShockers, at first I said like there's no details, but after this announcement was made, he did tweet out like because he was moving into a new role, like that they are still working on it. So who knows when we're going to see Anthem 2.0? Maybe the Game Awards. Who knows? But at that point, like it's just I don't think I really just think it's more EA than anything that EA owning
I
that.
think it's hard not to think that.
Yeah.
I think it's the same case with Andromeda. Like there was some bugs and quirks about that game that if it just had a little bit more time to simmer and roast, that it would have been a great game. But I think they lost a lot of momentum because EA pushed it out and a lot of people did. I personally love the game. I thought it was a great game. I don't think it deserves all the hate
agree.
it got.
But
I'm
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say like I also think Mass Effect Andromeda is great. I don't think it's like near the quality of the Mass Effect trilogy, but like I still think it was a great game. I think the two issues was one, they didn't give them enough time to finish it. Like give them like 3 more months, that game would have been fine. But
Absolutely.
I think the main issue was that I lost my train of thought here.
I definitely don't think they should have canceled the DLC for it. Like,
yeah, well,
Yeah,
they definitely
I
are.
needed to know where the Quarians win. God damn it! Come on.
Yeah,
everybody's favorite race in the game, they just
I
got
love
rid
the
of.
Quarians. Yeah.
No, I think the main issue is that, and then they also didn't. I don't think that they marketed the game well to be like, hey, this is not going to be a new like trilogy, like where you're playing it like the same format as the original Mass Effect trilogy. This is an exploration game. This is you are colonizing the human race in the Andromeda galaxy. That is your goal. It's not to like save the world or anything like that. And I think that if they would have gotten that message across more clear as well, people would have gone in with more reserved expectations, not particularly like bad expectations, but just like, hey, this is not going to be the exact same Mass Effect that you're expecting from the original Mass Effect trilogy. So
Well, I think even the characters were good in that game. They held up on their own, and I don't think that it was a bad concept. I thought it was a good game. It just wasn't a Mass Effect game that people wanted. So
Yeah, I never even actually played Andromeda.
I mean, I think it's good.
I didn't really bother with it.
yeah, Andromeda is worth playing. You should definitely give it a shot.
I agree.
There's
I
so
liked it a lot.
there's so much to fucking play right now.
Um,
It's
Oh,
fucking-
100%.
I can't.
100%.
I'm. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was gonna add one more thing. I know we
Please.
talked about EA is definitely not blameless. I understand that that's where a lot of people go, and they definitely share some responsibility in a lot of the problems. But I think, to me, it's based on what I've read and kind of what I can read between the lines. It seems it's almost 50-50. It seems to me. I think the problem is Bioware made games a certain way 10 or 15 years ago, and they had staff turnover and games change. The industry changes, the type of games people play change. I think they've had trouble modernizing their style, and I also think they've had problems with their culture. We had a report from Jason Schreier around Anthem, and that was not super kind to EA, but it also revealed some very bad culture inside Bioware, and I think so Bioware has its own problems, but EA also has a responsibility as like the parent company to help them work through that. And it's kind of you don't just hang them out to dry. You need to offer them the resources and support to get through that. And I don't want to go to like a sports analogy, because I'm sure a lot of people don't care about sports, but it's like you have like a general manager or like like an owner, and their job is to put the right pieces in play and get the right personnel and the right employees to succeed and find out what's working, what isn't. And I think that's EA's role, and they've failed. And Bioware just seems to continue to struggle.
I think the fact that Mass Effect 2 was so successful proves that EA isn't like fully to blame, right?
Mhm.
Like, how many people love Mass Effect 2?
Yeah. Finn, what up?
I just want to say there's one simple thing that they could do to make things better for BioWare, and EA just won't do it. And it's because it's the biggest reason I blame EA for a lot of their problems, and it's Frostbite.
Yeah,
I was
that's
gonna
what I was
say,
going to say.
We
Oh,
live
Finn,
in a world.
Finn, that's a really good point.
Yeah, forcing
When you were done, I'm so glad.
forcing
that
them
you
to
said
use
If-
Frostbite was an
Yep.
awful choice.
They're
Yeah, no.
forcing them to use an engine not designed for that genre. And we look at the trouble, like look at the turnaround Square Enix has done when they stopped trying to force their proprietary engine and just like fucking accepted third party engines. Like their game output has been so much better and higher quality since that. And it's forcing Frostbite. Like you mentioned the report by Schreier, and a lot of that was the inability to utilize Frostbite efficiently, and how EA was like, don't fucking care, it's our system, you're going to use it. And it's affected a lot of their games. And I really think if they could use an engine that is more user friendly and more geared toward the type of games they're making, then you wouldn't have these troubled developments.
And it's weird
So
because
that part's big on EA.
it's weird because they let Respawn use Unreal Engine for
That's
Star
what
Wars.
kills me, is
So
that
it's
they
like,
let one,
Why?
but yeah.
a fucking sway that Vince Zampella must have.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just
like,
like,
I'm not going to use
what
Frostbite.
does
I'm not gonna do
Respawn
it.
have? What
Yeah.
does Respawn have different that like makes you think, oh yeah, they can use this engine, but BioWare can't, and it's just like
I'm sorry.
BioWare doesn't make
surprised
first-person shooters. Like
Yeah.
doesn't
That
make any
game
sense.
ended up, I think, probably being their most well-received single-player game of the generation. I mean, they haven't put out a ton, but
Yeah.
it seemed very successful.
Everybody wants to be Capcom, right? Like Capcom struck fucking gold with MT Framework, and they were able to use it for like every studio and every game they made for an entire console generation or two. And like the RE engine's looking to be
The
the
RE
same
engine
way.
is fucking
Yeah,
sorcery.
you
the
know,
RE
like,
engine's really
Like
good.
Capcom has got it with internal engines, but everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to have their own internal engine, cut out the Unreal middleman, not have to pay like licensing and royalties to Unreal or Unity or who the fuck ever. And it ain't working out, right? We saw Square Enix flounder through it multiple times. Frostbite only works for DICE. Like,
And even then,
I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's the same thing happened to Telltale. Like they're just like, oh, you got to use this Telltale tool I created, and it's just like, no, it's trash.
yeah. Oof.
So
That was a good
I-
discussion. That was
no,
fun.
we actually had a good discussion on SDGC. It happens every now and then.
Mhm.
Every now and then, between all the bullshit and shit posting and me talking about Final Fantasy VI, and
Son of
every
a
now
bitch,
and then,
there
we-
it is.
Speaking of, we're supposed to rank the
25
characters.
Oh
minutes in.
shit! You're right. So the
No.
worst Final Fantasy VI
Okay.
character is easily
How can I
Umaro.
not mute
He's a
John
he's a
right
fucking
now?
Agreed. Umaro is-
Sasquatch
there's a reason he's a bonus character.
He's a
He doesn't have
Sasquatch.
he's a Sasquatch.
who gives a
who doesn't really
shit.
talk.
I'm in hell.
He
He's-
doesn't have.
I'm
so-
in hell.
So the next
Go-Go.
Can't escape.
Go-Go is fucking useless.
No,
Go-Go is
fun
useless.
to use, but again, it's the
Go-Go
bonus
is fucking. You
characters.
get
I
him
can
in a
I think this is a
try.
fucking
great
worm's
time
belly.
to talk about my
John,
spicy
John,
Final
and it
Fantasy
doesn't
VI
work.
tweet that I made.
I tried
No,
muting
no,
them.
no. Anything but that. We got to move on. I can't let
Yeah.
Brittany do that. Anything
So
but that.
number
We got
one
to
is
move on.
Saban. All right,
Real quick before we get into what we've been playing, I want to thank everybody in chat for a very specific reason. Without all of you, we don't have a podcast, and 2020 saw probably the biggest year of growth that SDGC has seen since we started doing this. In 2020, because of you, we grew 500% in the UK. We grew 60% in the
This is
United
where John
States.
rattles off our Spotify.
I'm just saying, we grew 100. We grew 131% overall, and people listen to us in 20 different countries.
This is the first time John's ever been horny for math.
I'm actually horny for math right now.
John's
And-
that sales section of a big E3 Sony conference from
God.
10 years
And-
ago.
We're gonna get
and-
clowned on so fucking hard
and-
for this, John.
And
I hate
I
it.
don't care. I'm very happy. Because I never expected anything like this.
Someone
and
please Photoshop John's head on a PlayStation exec's face.
I don't
from
give
one
a
of those
shit. I don't
with
give a
the
shit.
big PowerPoint in the
No,
back.
The amount of people we have eating a ham sandwich while watching us has jumped up 365% this year. Okay, like
Listen,
this is,
John created this podcast. Let him flex it a little bit.
yeah. Let me flex it a little bit.
all
Thank you,
John
Brittany. Let me
did-
flex it a little
all
bit.
John did was pick good people to surround himself with.
Shit.
All I did was grab
I mean,
a
that's
conch
not
shell.
wrong, but
All I did was grab a conch shell and go outside and go.
I just got cursed with a
And-
really good idea, and I have to do it now.
What are
okay,
you doing, Derek?
I'm working on it. I'll do it as we podcast.
okay.
I'm proud of you. I love
Should
it
we go
already.
into what we've been playing?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, but I'm worried. I'll kick it off real quick because I'm going to be very fast.
That's what
I've been
Vicky
playing-
told me.
Finn!
Oh God.
Finn!
I missed something.
You'll hear it on
Oh.
the podcast
Oh
version.
man. Oh,
I'm editing
man.
air horns into that part. Son of a bitch.
Holy
I
shit.
gotta just mark down the time so I can
That
go
was
back and
great.
find this.
Oh
It was
my
like
God.
about 33 minutes and 45 seconds ish.
Oh my god. Ooh, I'm
Okay.
crying.
Well, someone clip that so we can put it on Twitter ASAP.
Oh fuck.
Cool.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh, just
Well,
like-
she lied.
like
No
went-
delay.
John went through like all the steps of denial just of what just happened. Just you could tell it. He was just, and the acceptance, his face just
Oh
went.
my god.
The 5 stages of
was-
grief
yeah,
right
the
there.
five stages of grief. That's literally what he went through. Like,
What's you been playing, John?
We're
don't
best
even know.
friends.
I don't even know anymore.
what are games?
Anyway, what I've been playing. You know what? Fuck. God damn it.
You can't even be mad at him.
So anyway, what I've been
Yeah,
playing is I've been playing a lot of Age of Calamity. That game fucking rules, and I'm generally not huge into Musou games, but it's Zelda, and so I can't.
No, I'm curious. How's
So
the
anyway-
story in that game?
I'm just
Yeah,
saying, people
yes,
say that
I'm
about all
trying.
Zelda games, right? Like, oh, I don't like
So-
this type of game,
so-
but it's Zelda, so it's automatically good. But
It is.
you know.
There's a ton of there's a ton of content that isn't really all that important. Which I think is probably par for the course for a lot of Musou games. Like there's a lot of side content that has no bearing on the story whatsoever. It's like, hey, do this extra, do this battle if you want to train Link in using his stasis techniques. And that's not really like I don't really care about 100%ing this game, but it is the one Musou game I've played that actually has a really good, really involved story. And without going into spoilers, if you go into this expecting a cut and dry prequel to Breath of the Wild, stop that right now because it goes places that you're not expecting.
So I was just
Um,
about to say, as somebody, and I know we talked about this briefly, but as somebody who has not played Breath of the Wild, do you think it's do you think somebody like me could play it? Like hop in?
Yes, absolutely.
Really? I've heard the opposite.
So the reason I say that is because at the point I'm near the end of the game. Like I'm gonna finish it tomorrow morning. It's taking me forever to play because there's so many fucking games to play. But the story is very clearly going somewhere that completely untethers it to Breath of the Wild. And that's all I'll say. But this is not set in the Breath of the Wild continuity.
It's not a spoiler to say that it's not an actual prequel. I mean, the little guardian thing pops back in time to the points of the game in the opening cutscene.
Right. Like you can probably imagine where the story's going to go when you consider like things like time travel, for example, Derek.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great. In fact, it's got more story than Breath of the Wild did, and I love Breath of the Wild. And it's fully voiced. It's a fully voiced Zelda game. Like Breath of the Wild had some voice acting, but this is completely fully voiced, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's great. And I've also been playing a lot of. I just finished Melody Memory. That game fucking rules. I love rhythm games. I love Kingdom Hearts, and Melody Memory is fucking great. Brittany and Finn and I actually did a review on that, actually, not an after hours because we're kind of rebranding. And Finn, I promise that'll be in your inbox tomorrow morning. I've been very, very bad about that. I'm sorry, Finn. I've had a bad.
Have you been a bad daddy?
I've been a very bad dad. And the only other thing I'll say,
I promise I'm done.
I take it back.
Anyway, this last one is relevant to Brittany and Jeff's interests. I am trying a new class in Final Fantasy XIV.
No, you should be playing Bug Snacks. That's what you should be doing.
What I should be doing is practicing my new. What I should be doing is practicing my new Gunbreaker. I'm gonna try tanking.
Oh, cool.
That's a job that fits John.
Yeah, I actually tweeted out earlier today that I want to try and catch up in Final Fantasy XIV next year. That's like my top gaming goal because I just...
all you got to do is let me know, man. I'm there. Like I literally play that game every day.
I'll hit you up. So, what's up?
What up, Finn?
I don't like that fucking look.
What's up, Finn?
I don't like that look.
Is Finn frozen? No, he's
like
not.
Face
Everyone else froze. I was very confused.
No, you're...
So,
nope.
Cam, I have the same goal for 2021. Would you like to team up and fucking crush some 14 together?
Yeah, but where in the game are you right now? Are you like just straight up from the beginning, or?
I have a character that I haven't touched in a long time, so I'll probably start fresh. I don't know.
Okay, because I'm in the post game of the base game, so I still need to like basically go through Heaven's Sword, Storm, Blood.
You're revisiting the realm that has been reborn.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely need to. I have a black mage for that, and then and I was gonna say regarding Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory, I reviewed that for DualShockers, and I think I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. If anyone didn't know, with my like Keyblade and
I wouldn't have guessed.
Kingdom Hearts figures galore.
Looked
up
at
here.
Knuckles,
Anyway,
but
Knuckles, yeah. And I think out of like noticeable or notable like websites, I think I gave it like the lowest score, and I still really like the game, but I gave it like a 7.5, and then other people like gave it higher. And the reason why I did that was because the game's supposed to recap the story so far, and I think for new people that like decide to jump in Melody and Memory, that game does a terrible job, job.
It doesn't do a great job.
It's terrible. Like I think it's a great rhythm game, but like for recapping the Kingdom Hearts story, like no, it's bad. So
well, I mean, it's really impossible to cap that up in a few cutscenes. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
And like I said this in our after hours review, it does tell you where the series is going, but you have to get literally all the way to the end in order to find that out. But did Derek?
Yes, he did.
Great. Wow. Wow, Derek. Wow.
That's perfect. You can't even be
so
mad.
Stupid.
That's so fucking good.
For anybody watching the live show.
Yeah, sorry for all our
That's
audio
so fucking
listeners.
good. That's very, very good.
Of our audience.
That's very, very fucking good. All right, that's all I've got. That's all I've got right now because I've got to retweet this. This is too fucking good. Cam, what have you been playing recently, dude?
Yeah. So as my kind of like non-priority type gaming game right now, which is honestly just games on Switch, like Switch exclusive titles. I currently am playing through Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one. I haven't.
Is this the first
played it-
time?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Okay.
I played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and until Tokyo Mirage Sessions came out, that was my favorite game on the Switch. Like, I loved Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like, I finally got to a point where, because people say that like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 are basically like two halves of a whole, and I like didn't really, I haven't got I just now kind of got to a point where I've gotten like that one singular connection where I feel like the threads are starting to come together. And I'm really interested to seeing how that goes. But outside of that, like I feel like I think I'm like on chapter 7 or 8, and there's like 17 chapters in the game, so I'm about halfway through the game. Again, I'm enjoying it. I think the combat in 2 is definitely much better than the first game, but I think the first game is still fun to play. So that's what I've been doing, like kind of on the side when I'm not trying to play through as many games as I can before Game of the Year discussions. And then yesterday I ended up finishing Ghost Runner, and that game is
Yeah.
fucking great.
Ooh.
You were the
Super-
first person I've been able to talk to about that.
Yeah, it's great. Like it has its technical issues, but it's really really good. It's really good. So like the story is like you really don't even, there is a story there, but like with the type of game that it is, it's really hard to like even remotely kind of understand what's happening in the story. Because you're just like so focused on parkouring, and like that game makes you feel so cool
So
when you
badass.
do anything.
Ugh.
Like it's so great. So I finished that yesterday, and then hopefully tonight I'm going to try and finish Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Ooh, yeah.
I finally finished the first game this year, and kind of unpopular opinion, but I think the mechanics in the first game are trash. Like I do not think they're like good platforming mechanics. And I think that the second game like fixes that like almost completely. Like it's a major improvement across the board in almost every way. The only thing that really gripes me in Will of the Wisps still is its checkpoint system. I don't think it's the checkpoint system's that good. But outside of that, really enjoying that game. It'll like probably be on my top 10 by the end of the year. I definitely think it deserved like that Game of the Year nomination slot over Doom Eternal. Even though I enjoyed Doom Eternal, but like Ori and the Will of the Wisps, way better game in my opinion. So that's what I've been playing right now. And then and then leading up to like Game of the Year discussions, the only two games I'm trying to at least not particularly finish but get my hands on is 13 Sentinels.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I got to know what the story is all about. People are saying like the story is like insane. I'm like, all right, tell me what it is. And Yakuza. So those are the two that I'm trying to play before.
I'd also
Game of the Year
really recommend
discussions.
Crosscode.
Here's the thing with Crosscode. I have it downloaded on my Xbox, and
Just make
but
sure you have
it's
about 50
technically
to 60 hours set aside.
it's technically not a 2020 game. So I'm one of those like traditional guys. It's just like if it didn't come out this year, it's not going to be on my top 10 list. That's kind of what I'm doing with Persona 5 Royal. Like it's going to be on like an honorable mention on my top 10 list because I think that game was phenomenal. But I think that it more or less is just Persona 5 again.
Yeah, it's
so it's
Persona
just like,
5 with DLC, except you can't download the DLC. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You can actually
And-
do shit without Morgana telling you to take a fucking nap. So
Yeah, and another unpopular opinion, but I like the quality of life improvements in that game. I didn't like the third semester. The new royal content.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if like we have time to go in the deep depths of that, but like basically
Please.
long story short, I feel like it's a much weaker ending to an already perfect ending that the original game had. I really didn't think that like the concept of the I don't want to get into spoilers, but like
Please don't.
What?
I said, please don't spoil. I haven't finished.
Yeah.
Royal yet.
There are just some things that are introduced in that bit that just fundamentally didn't make any sense. And again, I can't really explain that without going into spoilers. So it was just some fundamental things. I don't think the last palace ruler was like
Yeah, I was gonna
very compelling. Like
Cam, I want to talk to you offline about the new final battle. I want to talk to you
Sure.
offline about that because
Sure.
I've got some. Yeah, like we can talk offline about that one, but I
Yeah.
definitely want to talk with somebody else about that because I've got really mixed feelings about that.
I appreciate that. That makes me feel better because I played a few hours of the game a long time ago, and just didn't stick with it. But I got it with the PS Plus collection on PS5, and I was feeling kind of like, oh, I only got like the normal version, which I know I heard is still really good. But I was like, I felt like I was missing out on that royal. But it sounds like I could still get a really good experience with this one. And
Yeah. So I'm actually like, hopefully by tomorrow, releasing like an editorial about this, about like like not specifically the royal content, but just something that Atlas has been doing with their re-releases that I don't particularly like. And the thing with royal is that if someone were to ask me, oh, which one should I play, 5 or royal, I would begrudgingly say royal just because of the quality of life improvements. But like, honestly, like I would tell someone, like, once you get to the end of the game, which you like, you know that is the end of the game, it like feels like the end of the game when you play it. Even in royal, like, it's the same ending, it feels like the ending of the game, and then it's just like, all right, now you have 20 more hours to play. It doesn't feel like an epilogue, it feels like the 4th act of a 3-act movie, and it's just like, no, that's not it's really jarring.
A really like a weird comparison, but I think it's apropos, is the last part of The Last of Us 2, where you think you're entering an epilogue, but you've got hours and hours to go. Like it's the game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, I completely agree with you, Cam. Like I think it went on longer. That you're already talking about a fucking 120-hour game. Like it went on. The third semester went on longer than it absolutely needed to. 100% agree.
So yeah, but I still think Persona 5 Royal is phenomenal, but like I really wish it was just basically what Persona 5 was, with those quality of life improvements, and then there was no new story stuff.
Yeah,
like that would have been the perfect. That's like the perfect experience for Persona 5, in my opinion.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you. Okay, no, dude, that was awesome. Who wants to go next? Brittany, have you gone? Brittany's muted.
Okay, there we go. I pulled a Jeff. I have been playing Spider-Man on the PS5, and I never played the original on PS4.
Ooh.
And I am loving this game. It's so good. There's something so cathartic about just swinging around town that is just chef's kiss. It's so good. I love it.
Plus, it's beautiful. Like, it's just
it is gorgeous. Like, especially on the PS5, like they got those real-time reflections on the buildings.
Yeah.
So when you're swinging, you could see yourself go by, and it's just
gotta love that ray tracing.
But what
it's
about
fun.
the puddles?
The what?
Puddles.
The puddles.
I haven't seen puddles yet.
Oh no,
it's because they're not there.
Yeah,
it's an old.
Because when they first showed like the trailer or something like that for the game, they were just like, for some reason the internet was just like, what's up with these puddles? They look terrible or something like that. It was really dumb. It was a really dumb.
People actually called it Puddlegate.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was real stupid.
So I've been really enjoying it. I'm surprised at how much I'm enjoying it, because I heard everybody talking about how much of a great game it was. But it's just one of those things that you need to play to experience yourself. It's really fun. The combat's like, I sucked so bad when I first started playing. Like, I was like, I can't do this. Do I need to go to easy? Like, and then like, it's one of those things when you first start playing, you're like, I don't know if this is going to be a game for me. And then you keep playing it, and you start to learn like the moves and like how the combat works. And then it's just fun. It's fun. I love Black Cat.
The only thing that annoyed me, Britt, about Spider-Man, I love that game, is that near the end of the game, I'm like, why does every Why does every criminal in New York have a fucking RPG launcher? Why? Why does every criminal have a rocket launcher? That doesn't
You
make
know
any
what the
sense.
worst thing about this game for me is the fucking research terminals. I hate that
Aw.
shit. They're just tedious little
I
like
agree. I agree.
like
I disagree.
no, like I don't want to fucking spray some shit on a fish. Like, let me go punch a criminal in the face. Like, I don't give a shit about pollution. I'm Spider-Man.
Wow.
That's the game's very checklisty. I really liked Spider-Man 2 when I played on the PS4. Like you can't see it from here because it's kind of hidden. I got the collector's edition over there with like the statue and stuff. But I really liked the game until like the have you finished the story, Britt?
I haven't. So
Okay,
the
okay.
furthest I've
Okay.
gotten is the college. That's what I'm doing right now. Because I'm doing, and I don't want to. So I have OCD, and I'm trying to get over this, but I have to do everything before I progress. And I was like, so I'm just
I'm
gonna
the
play
same
the
way.
story
Me too.
and
Yeah.
go ahead. But the side quests are fun. Like it's not
Mhm.
like it doesn't feel like a chore. Like it's just
Yeah.
genuinely fun. So I've been doing all the side quests as the different missions. The last set of missions I did was the Taskmaster. The task.
Oh, those are good ones.
master.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they
I mean,
fucking suck. The
I
drone
love-
missions.
No, I
This
like
isn't-
those.
this isn't
No.
this isn't a story spoiler what I'm about to tell you, but like I really liked the game story-wise specifically until it got to the raft. Once the raft happened, like it kind of went a direction I didn't want it. Like I was just like, "Oh, I thought you were going to set this up for the next game." And it's just like, "Oh, nope. This is it." And then like
So
these
is
things
that what
that
they
were
showed?
before don't matter anymore, and I'm just like, "Okay."
Is that what they showed on the PS
Yes.
when they
Yes.
demoed it? Is that what they
Yes.
showed? Because I
Yes.
keep expecting to see that they spoiled so fucking much in that scene. Like when
Yes.
they previewed it, because I keep thinking, and it happened years ago at E3, but I still fucking remember it. I'm like, oh, is this scene gonna happen? Nope.
Yeah, they didn't do the spoiler stuff,
Yeah.
the revelation there, but there is a revelation like after that bit, and it's not where I thought the story was going to go, and I think it really hurts that the story. And so, but again, I really enjoyed the game. It's the only like because I'm a Xbox. I like to play my games on Xbox. So
Mhm.
I don't platinum hunt or anything like that. I like my achievements. But that's the first game I platinumed, and I'm gonna end up platinuming Miles, which I finished it. I just need to go back and do the rest of the stuff.
Mhm.
And then once, because of the new like save transfer thingy, I can literally just boot up Spider-Man PS5 and I'll get my platinum, a second
Well,
platinum
and
for
it's
the game.
crazy. I didn't even know that Miles was in Spider-Man 4. Like I had no idea.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's
that was a
that's a good
surprise to me. So
surprise
when
for
I
you,
saw
yeah.
him, I was like, "Oh, that's really fucking cool!" Like, so I'm excited to see if they show it, like how he gets his powers and like. So I'm looking forward to all of that. But that's what I've been playing. I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's just swinging is fun. Like jumping off buildings is fun. Like, not much more to say than that.
Don't do it in real life though. Like only.
Oh no, I'm
only
afraid
do
of
that in
heights.
video
I would
games. Yeah.
never.
I
would
cannot do
never.
heights. I can't do heights
Mm-mm.
either. No.
Nope.
Fuck heights. Height.
Nope.
Well,
Yeah.
Mm.
maybe
Mm-mm.
I'll go next. If
Nope.
Yeah,
that's
Jeff,
okay,
please,
'cause,
please.
I've also been playing Spider-Man Remastered. Yeah.
First
um,
time?
No, it'll be a little bit different perspective because I did play and beat it on the PS4.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, it was, I think it was like an extra $20. Like I bought the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. I was like, I gotta try this at 60 FPS, right? Like, I'm spoiled by high frame rates on my computer, so I want to get that experience. And I also, I didn't have a good experience playing it on PS4, and I wanted to give it a second chance. And I don't think it was the game's fault. I just played it at a really busy time in my life. I was trying to I was literally like in the middle of building my new house and packing and moving and stuff like that. And I was really busy with work, so I'd play like 15 minutes at a time, like half a mission, and pause it. And I couldn't just get into like a nice flow. I couldn't let myself get immersed in that world. And so like it just felt really disjointed. And like I don't know, like it wasn't bad. Like I still enjoyed it overall. But I was like,
Oh, I've been having so much fun with
yeah,
it. Like
didn't have
I'm
the same
surprised at how
experience.
much I love it.
I didn't have the same experience everyone else did. And like I fucking like I love Spider-Man. Like I am all about Spider-Man. That's my favorite. I got a stack of comics right beside me here, like this high. Those are the only comics I ever read were Spider-Man comics. So No, I actually just platinumed it yesterday or the day before, I think. Which I don't platinum a lot of games. I think I've platinumed 10, and like half of those are Telltale games where you get the platinum for just finishing the game. So no, it was a couple things stood out to me. It definitely looks a lot better. I appreciated a lot of
Absolutely.
remasters. And again, I'm picky. I play on PC. A lot of remasters are either just literally like changing the resolution and then calling it a day, but they clearly put in some extra texture work here. Just like the buildings and the demon masks, the wood grain on them, you can visibly see the difference. And I remember it took a lot of shit. I actually wrote a piece for our friend Maddie on Questlog, his blog website, about the face swap. They have a face model for Spider-Man.
Yes, I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, so the mocap, I believe, comes from Yuri, who is the voice actor. But then they have a separate face model, which they base the visual appearance on. And they basically, so the VO, as I understand it, the VO and the mocap is all unchanged. They just literally swapped out the face skin for a new person. His name is Ben Jordan. And some people are joking, he looks like maybe a little bit like Tom Holland.
He does look like Tom Holland.
He does look like Tom
does.
Holland.
You know, that's
He does
fine.
look
like Tom Holland.
Absolutely why they
Tom Holland's a
chose
good-looking
him,
guy, but this change took a lot of heat, and I get it because people had a really good time with this game. It's only 2 years old, and when you really love something, you get really attached to all elements of that, which would include that face. So I get why people were a little. I was taken back by it. I was like, "What the hell is this?" But I will say, after platinum the game, after finishing it, after spending 20 hours with it, I thought the new face is great. I thought it fits really well.
It does. It really does.
It does. It does.
I think it's a mixed bag. Like, I can understand you could cherry pick certain scenes, and I think maybe there's certain scenes where the old one is better, but I think the new one picks up. There's just some really subtle things. So maybe it's not the huge emotional, like the final scene of the game, like the big moments, but just little conversations with him and other characters, with Aunt May, with MJ, and just the little inflections and stuff that you see in the face, the little ticks. It's so natural, and it's so good. It's a really good improvement, I think. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, I had a much better time with the game this time, although maybe this is because I've now played it twice. Besides trying to 100% it feels like a little bit grindy. Like, I'm like, there doesn't need to be 4 faction crimes, like swinging around trying to get. There's 5 Sable crimes, 5 prisoner crimes, 5.
How many fucking backpacks did you leave lying around, Pete?
Like, there didn't need to be this many in every. I was like, okay, like there's like 20 faction crimes in 8 districts. There's like probably like 4 times 850 crimes to like, and like how many times do I have to stop a fucking car and like weapon like. It just a little bit more.
Well,
I don't know.
He's also grossly irresponsible. You literally find a backpack that he left around with like a vial of Sandman inside it, and I'm like, why? Like, why would you just leave this lying around? Like, Sandman is in there. Like, what are you doing? He's just in there.
I will say, I mean, it's optional, and I respect the fact that
everything is optional, and the platinum is like easy, which is good.
And the cool thing is, like, so you use a lot of the things you earn from doing these activities, you use to unlock skills and suits, and you can actually unlock every skill in the game and every suit and get the platinum without like 100%ing everything, right? So a lot of the bases that you can complete, I only got like 1 out of possible 3 base tokens, and like. I only got 1, like the first rank on some of the Taskmaster challenges. So like, it's not like you have to maximize and complete everything.
Suck.
Yeah, they do. I don't mind most of them, but yeah, the fucking drone ones where you're like trying to time your swing.
They're hard.
The screwball challenges are so much worse.
I haven't done any of the DLC yet. I typically don't play DLC, but people told me it's pretty good. I mean, it was included with the game.
Looking forward to that Black Cat DLC.
You
Baby.
would, and you will. Britt, you will.
So yeah, but no, it's a good game. The only downside is I think I'm a little burned out now. So Miles is gonna have to wait a little bit until I'm.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm the same way. I can see that.
Yeah, I would definitely play through the DLC because there's definitely going to be things for a specific character that will probably play a part in the sequel.
Awesome.
And Derek, what about you, buddy? What are you playing?
Oh, it's been just fuckzaster the last couple weeks. Since we last checked in.
I've never heard of that game. Never heard of that
it's
game.
It's not been good, man. It's just been
That's
a lot.
the game of 2020.
Yeah, I've been juggling like just so many games. So of course I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, which has been fantastic, but I have to take it slow and in chunks because I know that Yakuza games can burn me out if I just marathon through them. They're big, they're meaty, there's a lot to them. They are not meant to be marathoned, I don't think.
But I am so glad you decided to pick this one up.
Oh
because...
yeah. Well, I mean, you know me. I'm the Yakuza stan on this show. Like I love these games so much, and I love these characters, and I love how Like a Dragon is very much a fresh start for people to jump in. I've been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, of course, and I don't have deep thoughts about the game. You all know me. Musou games are good. If I can press the A button and kill like 47 dudes at once with one flashy cutscene, like, yeah, numbers go up. I love
Hell yeah.
Checklisty bullshit and my Dynasty Warriors spin-offs. Absolutely, give it to me. What is maybe more interesting and a little more out there is I've picked up the original Neverwinter Nights again.
Oh, that's old school.
And I'm loving the enhanced edition, which is the version that's currently for sale on, I know, PC and I think Switch as well. I don't know if the other systems have it.
Does that come with the Realm of the Underdark or the City?
Yeah,
of
it's
the
like
Underdark
everything. It's
expansion?
everything.
Okay.
But yeah, it's they've been putting real work. I know that used to be a real messy version, and when I checked back into it, it runs really well. It looks really good. They've done a lot of work on like making sure that the like interface and the text and everything scales really well to this new higher resolution layout. But it's just a good game, and like the stock campaign in Neverwinter Nights is really good. Arabeth is just a super cool classic Bioware RPG character, like at their best. So that's been a ton of fun, and also I haven't been able to play actual D&D in like a couple years now. So playing a game that's actual D&D rules is like, I'll start Baldur's Gate 3 when they leave early access, but I have a thing about early access games. So, but yeah, so Neverwinter Nights has been great. And then yesterday I started up Diablo 2 Lord of Destruction with my fiance, who's never played.
Ooh.
Yes.
Wow.
So she's got her big old Mac over here with this big ass screen just on the other side of my office, and I'm right here. And we did yesterday and today we did some Diablo 2 LAN, and it's a special game for me. I grew up playing that game with my dad and my younger brother. I grew up playing it with Lena, I played with forever as well. And just it's a game that is a major part of my trajectory as a gamer, and my it's a very comfortable and nostalgic place for me. So to get to share that with a partner who doesn't play a ton of video games, and this has been a good ass time. Lena, yeah, you in chat. She's super excited
Lena!
that Martha's been playing some Diablo 2. Lena, if this would not surprise you, I had Martha pick both her class and mine. So of course Martha picked the sorceress and made me play the assassin. So that would surprise absolutely not Lena, and anybody else. You don't know Martha, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. I'm trying to burn through Yakuza and Hyrule Warriors because they're new games, and I want to be able to talk about them in greater detail for like maybe a review discussion or something. But Neverwinter Nights and Diablo eating up time. I just got to have them comfort games. So
there you go, baby. That's all. Especially in 2020, it's more important now than ever.
Yeah.
Finn, I would skip you for your thoughtless comment and your joke that was not funny in any way, shape,
literally
or form
everyone
at all.
disagreed, John, but that's okay.
But I would skip you, but just look at that face. I can't stay. Look at that Poonam. I can't stay mad at that face. Finn, what are you playing?
What am I playing? What could it be?
Is it
it's
Picross
boring.
game?
It's numbers. It's numbers. Who cares?
John, you were
It's just
so
numbers.
horny for numbers
High
earlier.
Cross, baby. High Cross S5. I will let you know.
Numbers that
this game
matter.
came out Thursday.
I literally
and
cannot do
I have
numbers.
completed all of the Pie Cross and all of the Mega Pie Cross, and I am currently on Clip Pie Cross, which puts me well over 300 puzzles done.
Oh,
I haven't
too
really
many.
touched anything else, although I have started Immortals Phoenix Rising.
I hate that you call it that. I
Starring
absolutely
me.
hate.
Phoenix, it's
You're streaming that tomorrow, right?
I am, and people scoff at the Breath of the Wild comparisons, but they're there for a reason, in a good way, because I'm having fun with it, which already makes it better than Breath of the Wild.
We're not going there. Finn.
I've also started. I'm almost done my platinum for Miles Morales. Saki and I have completed our 100%ing of Sackboy: A Little Big Adventure, is what I call it. We are about halfway done that. We play that together. God, the game's so good. Let's see. I've already platinum Bug Snacks, and I've already platinum Astro's Playroom.
Bug snacks.
Bug Snacks.
I might stream. I
Chandler.
might
Playroom was
stream
great.
bug. I might stream Bug Snacks this weekend.
Please do.
Let's see. I will say one thing. My Xbox never got turned on once since PS5 came out, so I gave it to my father-in-law. So I had an Xbox Series X, and then I was like, "Well, you're just kind of sitting here, and you
didn't give it to me,
Well, my father-in-law wanted to finally get
Cam,
me a video games. I was
or
like, you know what? I'm gonna
Derek,
get you an
or
Xbox
Derek.
because
Derek doesn't
Game
have
Pass
an
will be
next gen
perfect for someone
console.
like you who doesn't
Derek-
have to go out
I'm
and
good.
buy all the
I
biggest
have
games
both.
right away. You'll have like this
Well,
whole
what,
library.
but Finn, what about Derek? Derek does not have a next gen console at all.
I've got a PC.
Derek
Derek-
doesn't need one because he got that graphics card.
He does have
didn't
that
get
graphics
graphics
card
card
yet.
yet.
He
I-
has an Xbox. It's called a computer.
I
Yeah.
will say that, like, when I was over there for Extra Life, Derek's like, John, come in here and see Ace
Dude, I
Combat
showed John-
7 at 500 frames per second.
I showed
mean-
John Ace Combat
I
7
keep
at
saying
1440p
I-
and stupid refresh rates, and he was
saying I
like,
gave it to
"Wow."
him.
Yeah.
I sold it to him. He bought it off of me, but I will eventually get another Xbox Series X. But right now, as a next gen console, it's not really next gen. It's just a more powerful way to play older games. And that's what my PS5 actually feels next gen right now because it has new stuff to play. So that is where I stand right now. My PS5 has gotten nothing but game time, and my Xbox has been given away. So that is where my next gen stands.
Well,
Good stands.
I have,
Good
wait,
standing.
have you played like Ori 2 or like Gears 5?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I beat Ori in March. I 100%ed the game. It's one of my top 3 games of this entire year. Ori is the best thing Xbox did this entire generation.
Ooh,
down.
I agree with that.
Ori's
Ori
good shit.
this
Yeah.
entire generation, Ori and Sunset Overdrive justified my Xbox One. Gears I play, but I don't have any strong attachment to. I don't really care. It's Gears.
Don't say it's just Gears though. Like no, Gears 2 is
Gears.
like phenomenal.
Yeah,
No.
Gears 1, 2, and 3 were formative experiences for the 360. And
Okay.
then
I've
you
never
got
finished
Gears
a single
that was
Gears
Okay,
game.
okay,
and
no,
5 was
no. I was
better
about to
than
say I was
4,
just
but
like, don't
Magic's
you,
gone.
don't.
It's like Halo for me. It's just,
Uh,
I'm reliving the glory days for the older games, but the new entries aren't really doing anything.
I'm going to take this opportunity to briefly cut in and say that I, after many years of struggling with it on my PC, which just simply fucking does not work, I finally managed to play Gears 1, the Ultimate Edition on my. I got a Series S because like I have a beefy computer, so like there's no need for me to have a Series X. But I wanted an Xbox for like that backwards compatibility, all those OG Xbox games and stuff. And I played Gears 1. That game is janky, which is understandable because it's really old now, but. It was really cool. I really liked it, and I just started Gears 2. I just got through the first chapter. I'm getting kind of like the underground.
Gears 2
game
is
segment.
so good.
The
so
thing I don't
good.
like about Gears is like it's hard to pay attention to the story when you're distracted by chainsawing enemies, so you can't really hear what's going on.
Yeah. The important thing is you need to. Yeah.
There's subtitles.
y'all. By the way, I did forget a game.
Uh-oh.
In the day after our last podcast, I started Halo. I started Halo 1.
For the first time?
Yeah, really.
What the
And I know I have not really been so here's the deal. I played Halo 1 a little bit on PC back when it first came out, and I didn't really like it but part of that's because I was a dumb young fanboy who didn't want to like it, right? Because it was an Xbox thing, and I was a Nintendo kid, and like we're all dumb and young at some point. But then I played Halo 3 some co-op with Lena, but I paid no attention to the story. I basically wasn't paying attention to the game. It was just like, watch me drive this Jeep like an asshole and, and be an asshole.
The correct term is warthog. Excuse me.
It's a fucking Jeep, but it's a big Jeep, and I love it. So anyway, I've started Halo 1, and I'm actually caring and paying attention to this game. And I love this game. I did drive a Jeep down hallways it was not meant to fit in.
It's true. I watched Eric's stream. It was a nightmare.
I was like sitting here getting it like half sideways and bringing it down hallways. It was a beautiful time. But yeah, so Master Chief Collection is complete on PC, every game but 5. So I'm gonna play all of them, and I look forward to my experience.
You're gonna have a fucking blast.
It's so good.
Halo 3 and Reach are the best in my opinion.
1, 2, 3, Reach, and ODST are incredible games. And
ODST sucks.
I don't know.
ODST is amazing. ODST is amazing. It's just different.
No.
It's just
I
different.
just played Halo 3 for the first time like a month or two ago, and
ODST is so boring.
I've heard ODST is very divisive. That some people love it, some people hate it.
I heard ODST was the best one.
It sucks.
This is proving what I've heard about it being divisive.
ODST is just the divisive title in the series. Honestly, I think it's amazing.
Better be divisive than before, I guess it sounds like, and be generally subpar. So
yeah,
that's what
the only reason why people like
great.
it so much is because Nathan Fillion is in it.
No, I forgot he was in it. And then when you just said something.
She let me know that
Nathan Fillion.
I'm gonna tweet at Nathan Fillion. Hey, Cam forgot you were even in that motherfucker.
I think people dislike it because one, you're not playing as a Spartan, so you die a lot easier because you're an ODST.
No.
And also, just like the story, but the story is a lot more. What's the right word? I don't want. It's not personal, but it's just more contained. It's a very like tight, like smaller scale story. And it's just and it's also formatted just completely different. Because like between missions, you're just in like this like hub world of sorts, and you like walk around in like the streets, and it's like very like murky, and things like that. It's amazing. I think it's a great game. Honestly, I think basically all the games that Bungie made are great for Halo.
Real quick, I just want a brief story time.
No.
I can.
Hit me.
Next.
All right, hurry because we do need to get to some predictions.
Go ahead.
Predict.
All right, we're gonna predict. So we thought we would close out the show. We got about another little over 20 minutes left, and we thought that we would close out the show by throwing out some predictions for 2021.
Capcom predictions don't count.
That's cheating. That's cheating. And so I'll throw one out there. I think in 2021 we're getting a new 3D Mario. It's just time. If there's about 3 to 4 years between every single 3D Mario game. Odyssey came out in October of 2017.
You are so about this fucking Mario game.
He's got the fucking Pepe Silva.
No,
board in the
no.
background.
Seriously, I think it's obvious we're gonna get a 3D Mario, especially if the rumors about the Switch Pro, which it seems like they probably are true. There's some Switch revision hardware coming next year.
It's happening.
No,
it's
Jeff,
happening.
no. I'm sure it's
hardware coming. I'm just not. I don't know. I don't disrespect anyone. Like I'll believe it when I see it. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm with Cam. I think it's coming, and I think launching a new 3D Mario makes sense, especially since it's been over 3 years since Odyssey released.
But I was gonna say, but why when the best 3D Mario is being ported to Switch next year?
Yes, 3D World.
3D World is the best 3D Mario game. Period.
No,
it 100% is. Bet money. In 20 years, that game is going to hold up better than any 3D Mario game.
Except for Odyssey.
Except for
I
Galaxy
don't
2.
agree, but I respect it.
Galaxy 1 is better than Galaxy 2. Galaxy 1 is better than Galaxy 2.
Sunshine.
Okay, hold on. Galaxy 2 is the only 3D Mario game I haven't played. How much motion controls is implemented?
A lot. way
Oh,
more than
compared to
Galaxy
one? Yeah.
One.
Compared to the
No, there's
first.
not really.
Oh yeah.
Compared
Yeah,
to the first?
you can't play it without a Wiimote.
The motion controls were mostly like nothing that can't be replicated by a Joy-Con. It's mostly flicking.
No. But what I'm saying, Finn, is that you can't play it without a Wiimote. You cannot play it without a Wiimote. There are no. You cannot play Galaxy 2
How
without
do you
a
do
Wiimote
like
right now.
Yoshi's tongue without, or like a lot
You
of the
stick your
minigame stuff?
You stick your own tongue out. You go. Bleh.
Eh,
That's how
Yeah.
you do it.
no.
I
feel bad that I did
That's how you
that.
do it. But yeah, no. I think we're getting. And this isn't going in turns. Just people throw out predictions. But yeah, I think we're getting a 3D Mario next year. I think the writing's on the wall.
Hey yo, I got some dark shit about Nintendo. Y'all ready for this?
Yes.
Y'all ready
shit.
for this? No,
Yes.
no Bayonetta 2, no Pikmin 4,
Streaming.
no
Bayonetta 2's
Metroid
already out,
Prime,
baby.
or Bayonetta 3, excuse me. No,
Oh, okay.
no Metroid Prime 4, no Metroid Prime Trilogy. None of that's happening next year. None of that's happening next year.
Mm,
Bayonetta 3, I thought was 100. Like I was super positive that was gonna be a lot. But this was before like Age of Calamity was announced and
Yeah.
things like that. I was like so dead set. I was like Bayonetta 3 is gonna be like the big Nintendo game this year, because it seemed like that they were going small, and I still think they kind of did for this holiday. But yeah, so if it's not next year, like
I don't know
I'm
what
gonna-
the fuck is going on.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna think the game is not actually happening. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a well enough time. Despite
Well,
COVID.
I'll
and
say this,
everything like that.
Cam. I think we're gonna know. The game was announced at the Game Awards. And
Yeah,
so I feel like
3 years ago?
3 years ago, and so
Three-
if we don't see anything next week at the Game Awards, I think that game is in fucking trouble.
So I have a question. Was Skyward Sword like officially announced, or was that just did
It's a
something get
rumor.
leaked?
It was a rumor.
That's rumor.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
rumor.
I'm sure. I mean, next year is the 35 years anniversary of Zelda. I'm sure it's coming.
Also a
mm,
bad game, but go on.
I'm sure at the very least you can expect the Wind Waker and Twilight Princess ports to happen.
I agree. Yeah,
Ooh.
We'll
there-
see a
there's-
bunch of Zelda ports next year for
you
sure.
can you
Yeah.
can take that to the bank. Like I
Yeah,
think those two
there's-
are like guaranteed.
Yep.
Skyward Sword, like I don't know. I won't be able to play it anyway because of my arachnophobia. But I hope it is for those that are looking.
The
forward
Twilight
to it.
Princess and Wind Waker ports to Switch. Those were rumored a while back anyway, weren't they? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was,
I think so.
That makes sense. I think you know what. I think Final Fantasy 16 is either a late 2021 game or an early 2022 game. I don't think
Didn't
we're
they
gonna have to
already
wait
really-
long for this
Didn't
game.
they say it was going to be 2021?
I don't think they gave
so
it any window, did
They
they?
did say it's coming out this year, but Square is notorious for delaying their games. So
yeah.
yeah.
Although
But-
Nomura
but,
is not
that's-
involved with this one.
No more. So
True.
I will say this: Yoshi P is a fucking taskmaster, and he's not Nomura, he's not Tabata.
Shout
Shout
like
out
that
to
man.
Yoshi fucking P.
Yoshi
everyone
P
is a
hits fucking
taskmaster
deadlines.
when you compare them against Nomura.
Yeah,
Who could
but
give
seri-
the
like-
motherfucker who writes Berserk a run for his money in procrastination? Like,
no. Britt knows
Here's the
though.
thing-
Like
okay, I'm not gonna get. I was gonna say here's the thing. Nomura like works on like 5 projects at a time. Square
Yeah.
like works that man senseless. Like Yoshi P, he's got Final Fantasy 14, which is a big thing, one big project for sure. So like, and then he's like a producer for 16. Like, so he's there, but like he's not like,
yeah.
So even though Yoshi P is involved, I don't think that guarantees that like it's gonna make it out on time. especially with
that's
COVID.
true. That's true. But Yoshi P is also extremely.
Exactly. Like
Prideful
you don't play
and-
14, so
yeah.
you don't know. Like he. Oh,
I do
God,
play
he's-
14. I love 14. I it was just one of those things where like at first I only had a PS4, so it's just like okay, I had to play it on PS4, but now I have a gaming PC, so like I'm gonna I already bought it. I just need to find the time to play it, and I'm making sure that I make time to play it next year. So it's gonna happen. Like I love what I've played so far, like absolutely, and I've heard it just gets better
Wait
and better.
till you get to
so.
Shadowbringers. Oof.
I've heard it's like amazing,
It's-
and I'm
It
really
is
looking
my
forward to it.
second favorite Final Fantasy.
It's top
Don't-
tier Final
Right
Fantasy.
Don't
after 6.
Brittany about Storm.
Right after 9.
Wow.
But
that
let's
hurt
talk
my
about how
ear.
great 13 is.
13 is a top 5 Final Fantasy game
Next.
easily.
100%.
That's
100%.
Easily.
100%.
We got 15
easily.
minutes. We don't have time for more Final
So-
Fantasy
so-
bullshit.
No, Cam, don't worry.
no.
Cam, we're gonna.
No.
Cam, no, please, Cam, go ahead.
So I don't know. So I don't know how you feel about like. I know you love Final Fantasy 6. I don't know how you feel about like if you think it has the best soundtrack in the series.
It does,
I'm
but
sure-
Hamauzu
Six does have
is
good-
a fucking
good music.
wizard. Hamauzu is
But-
a fucking wizard.
But what I was gonna say is like, in my opinion, like 13 has like the best soundtrack to any video game I've played.
Blinded by Light. Blinded by Light
my
is the best
God.
battle theme in the entire fucking
Oh,
series.
100%. 100% the best battle theme ever. Like ever. I love it so
I
much.
love a man with a machine gun though in 8.
Everybody else is
So-
like, here comes the now we're talking about Final Fantasy.
I'm not taking
about
part of
movies.
this.
Talking about the
We
weird
are all
shit.
about it.
No, Cam, don't worry. We're gonna have a separate recording. We're gonna talk about Final Fantasy 13.
Jeez.
Fucking
Oh, 100%. Like
Believe
I
me.
love Final Fantasy 13.
Believe
like, here's the
me.
thing. Here's the thing that pisses me off about Final Fantasy 13. It gets so much hate for things that Persona 5 does. That doesn't get it doesn't get hate for, and I'm just like,
It's the same thing with
What?
Final Fantasy 10. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy 10. It's
Yeah,
too
it's just
linear.
like-
Okay, well, so is 10. Like, I mean, it's
like, oh,
a
you're learning
criticism
so
of
much
10.
about the game, like partway through. Like, dude, there are tutorials like 80 hours into Persona
Okay,
5.
you know
are
what was
talking about?
bad about 13 is the fact that you
No,
have
I'm
to
back in
read.
hell.
No, sure.
You have to read about the fucking story in your journal. If you have to write it out, if
That's not
you
true.
can't display it in the game, if you have to go read about what the fuck is going on, that's not good.
I don't think that's 100% true. Like, I definitely think you can get the story from just the cutscenes, but you get more if
No.
you read.
No, because every single chapter you complete, you get a little like, hey, this is what's going on. You don't have any idea what Lassie means when you start the game.
I'm just watching Derek.
Look, Pam, 13 is. I enjoy 13, but she is not wrong that story could have been presented in a more
Oh,
clear.
it definitely,
Okay.
definitely
All
better.
right.
Definitely
Hold
better.
on. Hold on.
Definitely
Hold
better.
on.
100%.
Let's get some predictions out there before Derek has a meltdown.
I have
Derek,
a prediction.
no, hold on. Derek deserves the next prediction because Derek is.
I'm
Derek
giving
is
my
suffering.
prediction to Finn because I need to recover.
I predict that 2021 we will get a Metroid game, and that will be in honor of the 5th anniversary of Federation Force. We
Oh
will get
Jesus
Metroid
Christ!
Federation Force.
A
2.
serious prediction. A serious prediction.
Isn't it an anniversary of Metroid
It is.
next year?
It's also
Yeah.
the 35th anniversary of Metroid,
Yeah,
which
just
means
like
we're-
the
Yes,
30th
but the problem is
anniversary,
that
don't
Zelda
forget.
and Metroid are twins, and Legend of Zelda is the successful twin.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, look at the 30th anniversary. Do you remember what they did for Metroid?
There's that rumor of a
was-
2D Metroid, like Metroid 5. Who knows? But
Metroid
maybe
Dread.
we'll get something.
My
But
dream is that we finally do get a Metroid game that continues the story after Fusion.
after Fusion, yeah.
Still don't know
Here's
what-
the thing,
Derek, hold.
I'm just gonna say I'm not expecting much simply because like I feel like I don't know, I feel like in 2020 Fire Emblem is a bigger franchise for them than Metroid.
I
Yeah.
100% agree. 100%.
And we got like doo-doo for like
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. I pre-ordered that Fire Emblem 30th anniversary thing. Like I have every collector's edition from Final Fantasy like since it's released out west. But like that was garbage, like compared to what they could have done.
to be
Are
fair,
we talking
Yeah.
about 13
timing-wise-
again?
Timing
Huh?
wise,
No.
what would they have been able to turn out like after how recent Three Houses was and how big Three
Uh,
Houses was?
Port Fire Emblem Awakening, the best Fire Emblem game?
You know what? I can fuck with some ports. I'll fuck with some 3DS ports. I'll,
Like
I'll say it.
literally, I would
Awakening's
rather
really
have.
good. Give me a Teleus duology, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn.
No, let's say like at the very least, Port Awakening, because in my opinion, I haven't played Path of Radiance or Radiant Dawn yet
Yeah.
because I was young and things like that.
And they're impossible
like-
to get a hold of legally, right? So
But it's insane that has like that needs to be ported during the Switch span. Like if there's a Switch Pro or like a Switch 2, whatever. If that game is not, those games are not ported
Nintendo
over.
just
like,
needs to
I'm
port
gonna
and
lose my
remaster
mind.
more shit. Just do
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Just, what's their problem?
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what, speaking of that, I think we're going to get Game Boy Advance games next year.
Please,
We were supposed to
please.
get them Tuesday.
Right, yeah. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're coming Tuesday." And I'm like, "Y'all need to slow your roll." But I think there have been a lot of rumors swirling around Nintendo's online service, and I won't get into those. But I think we'll get Game Boy Advance games next year. And I also think, and I wanted to see what you all thought about this. I think one of the big releases next year, whether it's God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Forbidden West, I think the subtitle is, one of those is getting delayed. Which one is it?
God of
It'll be
War.
God of
War.
War.
God of War.
God of War?
For
100%.
sure.
It got announced after. It's gonna be way more ambitious because they have to basically
I
try
believe
and
we get Final
surpass the
Fantasy
original.
16 next Christmas.
We saw footage
So-
of Horizon, and we saw a logo of God of War.
For
So,
God of
like,
War, yeah, that's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
yeah, because they're not going to two of their biggest IPs against each other like that. There's no way they're going to do that.
No.
So,
Do you guys think next year is the year we finally see Game Pass on Switch?
no. Game Pass is not
No.
coming to
That's
Switch.
bullshit.
Game
That's
Pass is
never
not coming to
happening.
Switch.
Or Halo,
Xbox in.
Or Halo on Switch?
No.
Or you guys
No.
don't think any of that's
Here-
true?
here-
No.
Game Pass is Xbox's exclusive. That's why they don't need exclusive games. That's why they can put everything on PC because Game Pass is their exclusive. So like I think they'll still keep collaborating with Nintendo, but no, that's their big baby.
Yeah.
I think next year is when we get PlayStation's mediocre ripoff of Game Pass.
They'll do. Yeah, they said they were looking at some.
Isn't PS Now basically Game Pass?
Yeah.
No.
They're gonna actually do it up to be
Yeah.
like a Game Pass
Okay.
style thing.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Game Pass is never going to come to Switch. Like you
Yeah.
might get like they might work together so that like Xbox Live's services are like used with Nintendo for Switch to make their online better, but that's I think the farthest you're going to get there.
You're gonna
Somebody
get
el-
a new Assassin's Creed and a new Call of Duty.
Oh, for sure. Like, yeah, man.
I actually hope we don't. I hope that they take.
Oh,
another
I
year
deeply hope both
for-
any
no,
annual
for
franchise
Assassin's
needs to
Creed.
take some fucking time off, but won't happen. Those two,
Assassin's
clockwork.
Creed does the best.
Assassin's
when
Creed is
there's-
yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just say those
I was
games
just
have
saying-
different studios, so.
Yeah.
It's just the
Who el-
burnout with the franchise. I got something small.
Yeah, let's
This
hear
is
it,
not
Jared.
this is not like super specific. So I've been saying for a while. I have a strong feeling we will see the long rumored Diablo 2 remaster in February. Not near release, but I think we'll see it announced. I think BlizzCon is going to be bigger than people expect. Their like online event. They've got a lot to show off for a lot of games. I know they've said that like Diablo 4 is way further off than you expect, but like what snippets of development updates we've seen, like that game is in better shape than people make it out to be. That Overwatch 2, I think Blizzard still has at least one non-Diablo or Overwatch secret up their sleeve.
Oh,
So I think BlizzCon's gonna be big, relatively speaking.
So something that I heard, I don't remember the exact details, and there's it's 100% rumored, but like because Final Fantasy VII Remake is eventually gonna make its way to Xbox and PC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are rumors that like when that gets ported, that there's going to be DLC, and it's going to be like parts that focus on like each party member, kind of like 15, but not like the way it's formatted in 15.
I'd
It's,
rather they just focus on the next entry.
Oh yeah, 100%. But like, I mean, I think they already said that they're like working on next gen upgrades and stuff like that at the very least. But that's like a rumor that's been floating around, that there's going to be that once along with the the releases on other platforms, that there's going to be like some DLC involved in some aspect. So that focuses like on Tifa and Barret and things like that.
Tifa.
I'm so fucking ready for that PC port. I just mainlined the PS4 one because I'm gonna do all the side stuff on PC, and I can't wait to play that game at like 60 FPS. It's gonna be so good.
So
I
here's
got-
another.
Sorry,
No,
John,
Jeff,
I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna-
No, Jeff, no, please.
This will be quick because literally no one but me is gonna give a fuck about this. I think Starfield might come next holiday.
Oh,
or next
no
fall.
way. No way.
Hear me out. It's been 5 years since Fallout 4. Fallout 76 was a side project built a lot with basically the Fallout 4 tech. I do not think there was a ton of like. I don't want to minimize the development work,
I will.
but I do not think that was a full-fledged project. I don't think they've ever really gone this long between projects. If you look at like Skyrim was 2011, Fallout 4 was 4 years later. It's been 5 years. Next fall will be 6 years since Fallout 4. Fallout 4 they announced in June of 2015 and released it like 5 months later, I think in October, 4 months later. They did that quick release announcement and release. So COVID, I'm sure, impacted that, but I'm gonna say I think it's realistic. I think it could get announced next summer and come out next fall.
There's some I don't think that's crazy based off of what you're saying, but also this is a new IP, so I feel like it's not gonna happen. Like if it was a returning IP, maybe, but like because it's a brand new IP where I'm sure that they are, and from like that one screenshot that leaked, it seems like it's gonna be pretty vastly different. It feels like from Fallout or
Mhm.
Elder Scrolls. I think that they're gonna take their time with that one.
Does that mean it's gonna be fun?
I love that. I love that
Bethesda
snarky little.
Hill. I love Morrowind. I love Oblivion. I love Skyrim. I love Fallout 4. I don't give a shit. Let me have it. I
I
don't
love
fucking care.
Oblivion. I love Oblivion for sure. But something that I will say that people will think I'm crazy for, and I wrote an editorial about it, but I still think it's gonna happen. I think Microsoft is gonna acquire From Software.
Yep, I believe.
I think it's gonna happen.
I
Because here's let me explain for those that
John will be
didn't read
sad,
my
but
thing about it.
live.
So first off, we already know that Microsoft wants to get some sort of Japanese developer under their first party umbrella, and they've been kind of been remedying that by getting like Kingdom Hearts on the platform, getting the older Final Fantasy games on the platform, getting losing my train of thought here.
Yakuza's on Game Pass,
Dragon
so-
Quest. Yeah, Yakuza is a timed exclusive for next gen, and they're Phil Spencer's been saying that they're looking. Elden Ring seemingly is going to be marketed through like an Xbox. Like they're going to be like play this on Xbox. Like when it comes to the marketing stuff, I think that they're having those relationships with From Software where like depending on how things go and how they think that they're doing with From Software, like with all those Soulsborne games and stuff like that, there's just it would be. I think the better idea for Microsoft is to try and get a Japanese developer that works on like more Western oriented RPGs like From Software than like a traditional Square Enix or like Atlas Sega company.
So
That's how I think.
so your logic makes sense, but I'll tell you there is one ironclad reason why that won't happen. Because according to Japanese trade law, Japanese companies cannot be owned by foreign entities. There is no Japanese company that is owned by a foreign entity.
I don't think it's that they can't be owned. I think it's that they can't be like forcibly bought out.
No. The Japanese government forbids it. Like you will never see an American company owning a Japanese company simply because that is against the law in Japan. Having said that,
okay, interesting.
I'm going to
Could they
fact
not
check
just,
that,
like,
and if
all
John's
their
wrong,
employees and move them to
no,
North America?
feel free to Google
and
it.
if John's wrong, I'm
'cause
just
I
going
was
to play
like,
fart noises over that.
Like, can't Microsoft like if Microsoft is like has like a stationed in Japan in any aspect, like
I do think that it's possible that Microsoft tries to foment like maybe like a timed exclusivity,
Or
hey,
even
play
outright exclusives. They could
or
pay them to just
no, they're not
have
gonna.
only
No,
for
Elden Ring
Xbox.
from Software is not gonna do that. But
kind of do something like what they are kind of doing with Bethesda, where like except for without the actual acquisition of things, like hey, here's this much money, we don't own you, but like all your games are coming only to Xbox, like that type of thing. They
Yeah.
pay them like an ass load
now
of money.
see, now see that
okay.
something like that is possible. And I wasn't trying to like shit all over your opinion or anything. I just wanted to throw out there that it is illegal for a Japanese company.
That's good. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. But which is why you haven't seen any Western developers buy out a Japanese developer because
Can I
they
just
because
point
they literally
out
can't.
the hilariousness of every gen it happens where Microsoft says they're going to court more Japanese games, and each generation they do succeed more and more, but then immediately we get the news that The World Ends With You sequel's coming out, but only to Switch and PlayStation. Like it's just there's just something.
Yeah, but
that
that's still. I mean, as much as excited as I am about that, Finn, like that's still a niche title.
No,
like,
I agree, but it's the concept of it where Square's like, yeah, we know you're trying. We're just not going to give this to you right now. You'll get it at the end of the gen.
Xbox is going to get scale bound, like Jeff said in chat. They'll get scale bound.
Can I give one last piece?
Yes,
of
please.
Sweet spice.
Please.
All right. Here's the deal.
Ooh.
New 3D Sonic game, and it's going to be completely mediocre. Completely
Wow.
average.
I'm fucking stunned.
Whoa.
It will be.
I'm-
Everyone will be prepared for an apocalyptically bad game, or for it to save Sonic. But it will do neither. It will simply
So-
exist. That's
So-
not really
so-
like a surprising take. That's the cycle of
Isn't
Sonic. At
most
this
Sonic
point.
games?
Yes, but every time though, the fans get ready to go. This next one's gonna be it. No.
So
It never
so
is.
so I'll throw out one last quick prediction. We will see the return, and this is just a fun one. We will see the return of a very cool horror franchise, and no, it's not Silent Hill.
Good, because I was gonna say that's not happening.
No,
It was
Fatal
never
Frame.
happening. Fatal Frame would be cool to see.
Silent Hills will come before
Silent Hill's
fucking.
not happening. Fatal
Fatal
Frame is. Fatal
did.
Frame will happen.
Wasn't there like a rumor like this week about Silent Hills being a thing?
I don't believe
People
anything.
won't let that fucking go.
I don't believe any rumor about a Konami franchise. It's those
Let it
people are
go.
weird, and I just don't accept their rumors.
I will
You
never
think-
let it go because it was such a good demo.
One,
It
one
was a
quick
great
thing.
demo. Go ahead,
One
Finn.
thing.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, do you think we're gonna see Kojima's next game at the Game Awards?
No.
Even like a small title card or
I
like
mean-
small CG trailer.
He
Maybe not
takes
this
way
year,
too
but-
long to make his games.
But
Like,
he's been working.
but Brit-
He's like been like planned on. He was immediately ready for his next game after Death Stranding. Like, and I think
Was he?
was. I think he's trying to get. Yeah, I think he was already trying to get like Norman Reedus back for his next game. Like,
Of course he was.
as
Yeah,
some
if
ass.
we're
Norman
gonna
Reedus.
see it at all before the
I'm
next
not
Game
gonna
Awards,
lie.
it will be at this Game
Y'all,
Awards.
Real quick, Britt, I know you just said that Kojima takes forever to make his games, but I don't think anyone expected the first announcement trailer for Death Stranding was 2016, and that game
Yeah.
came out 2019.
so maybe
And
it
not only did they
feels
start
long.
the game, but he created a studio from scratch and built
Mhm.
this game in 3 years. I
insane.
don't think anyone expected that. Like we were all like, "Oh, how long did it take Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5 to
2023, and
come
then
out?"
he's like,
Yeah,
it's
and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Bitch, it's 2019." So I'm just saying, if he was making a new game, the
Sorry.
timetable.
The only reason why it feels like forever is because none of the trailers made fucking sense.
and they never
Everyone was
So-
like, "What is this
Those were
game?"
trailers. I thought those were Tool music videos. Like,
That's pretty much.
I just saw Brittany's tweet.
Oh. My shirt. My shirt is Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, nice. All right,
then-
Kaiba.
So we do need to start wrapping up here.
This was so fun.
Yeah.
Cam, I gotta tell you, dude,
Yeah.
you're just a delight to have on, man. Like,
thank you so much.
Absolutely.
dude. Like,
You guys are
Mhm.
awesome.
Cam, we are absolutely going to record something about Final Fantasy 13 because I will talk about Final Fantasy 13
Oh, it's so
and
good.
and how it's so
good.
underrated for hours. We could
It-
talk about the fact that Saz is a top tier Final Fantasy character. We can
I
talk about
agree
the
with
fact-
that.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
We can talk about the
100%.
fact that it has the best battle system in the entire series.
Yep.
We can
Nope.
talk about the fact. Oh
Kevin
no.
Remake?
Nope.
We can talk.
can we not
Sorry,
do
man.
this?
Nope.
All right. I'm sorry, Derek. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I do have
But
one
Cam,
thing.
Oh, well, hold on, real quick, Derek, because I know what it is.
Yeah.
Cam, where can people find you?
Yeah, people can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Cam Final Mix. And DualShockers at DualShockers on Twitter, DualShockers.com.
I already follow you, so I'm cooler than everybody else who doesn't follow you. And we have before we end the show here, we have one last statement that Derek is going to make, and it's an important one.
So we were gonna do this at the beginning of the show, but we launched into things, and we just wanted to keep things natural and not break it up. So the last couple of weeks, a good friend of ours in the show, Zombie Kills, along with a couple of other women of color, but not specifically women of color, because like Sonic Fox was getting harassed real bad as well. So we'll just say pretty much black gamers and content creators have been getting a lot of real bad harassment for receiving consoles from Sony and Microsoft for promotion and for content creation, which is of course stuff that happens. It's not weird for content creators and influencers and journalists to get new consoles. It's so that we can make content, so that we can get that stuff out there. It's good for the companies. Sony and Microsoft decided that Zombie Kills, among others, deserved to get these consoles to help reach her audience. And as a result of that, she's been under a lot of real horrific, openly racist and misogynistic harassment through YouTube, through Twitter, through in her Twitch chat, just everything. It's truly upsetting. I don't want anybody. Everybody needs to stay out of as much as you can of picking fights in her mentions, because she doesn't need. None of these people need any more drama going on in their Twitter comments.
Absolutely.
But show these people your love. If you don't know about Zombie Kills, she's just a wonderful person. She was responsible for one of the best episodes we've had. I just typed the name into the chat so you can see it. But just like, is not acceptable. Stand with Black women in the gaming community, because if you don't stand for Black women, you don't stand for fucking anybody, and that's coming from a white gay. So just you gotta don't.
She's just fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
like
she's a lovely person. She's always been so good to us,
right?
And I mean, it's not just her. She's just the one that we are the most personally acquainted with, of course. But we just wanted to acknowledge. We don't want to give any airtime or promotion to the various dickheads that are harassing her. We just want to let it be known that they're going through some shit. So show Zombie some love. Show content creators and influencers and journalists of color in your circles some love, because they're all getting it right now, and they shouldn't. That's
it just shows some fucking humanity.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
That's all it takes.
$0.00 to be kind.
Yeah. It's free 99, y'all.
Free.
$3.99.
Oh, Cam.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, seriously though. All I'll say about what the total lack of humanity that I've seen over the past 2 weeks is I won't say disappointing, because I expect this of people. I'll just say it's disgusting.
It costs you nothing, and it takes no effort to just not
be a dickhead.
To just not be in people's mentions if you don't like what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So just like, there's gonna be people out there who are doing shit, making content you don't like, and unless they are actively out like driving harassment, like you can just not show up. There's plenty of podcasters out there I got criticism for, right? And you don't see me in their mentions. So just
I wish I had the free time and energy to waste my mental strength on things I don't like.
2020
but
is
I don't.
hard. Why waste that time?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to eat, y'all. I'm just trying to make food, and make my bed.
Speaking of eating,
You got a za?
I got a fucking za.
She got
here.
a za. Cheap,
All right.
shitty za.
Pizza Hut, please give us a sponsor.
Is it pineapple?
We don't
Is there
want
pineapple on it?
Pizza Hut. Get that out of here.
That's all I got. All right, and then John.
Oh no! I don't care.
Give him
I
the
don't
ranch.
care.
Give
I
him
don't
the
care.
ranch.
I don't care. No,
Oh.
put that shit away. No,
Ranch is
got-
disgusting.
gross.
Ranch is
John's like,
ranch is disgusting.
Oh, Cam, I'm
Get out of
so
here.
disappointed at how different
I'm
we
with
are.
you. Ranch is
Oh.
disgusting.